What do you think about getting back to pre-pandemic price levels in the housing market? Is it going to be a quick trip, or is it going to take some time?
I think Matt, good to talk to you. Good to be here. I mean, what we've seen in the UK, both in terms of the housing market, but also in terms of the commercial market, is an extraordinarily quick reaction. So what took 5 quarters in 2008, 2009, in terms of impact on property markets, both residential and commercial, has taken 5 weeks in 2020. So we anticipate that volumes, the amount of activity in markets, both residential and commercial, in this quarter will be lower than anything we saw in the global financial crisis, and pretty much the market, in terms of anything new, has stalled for the last 2 months. But we are now we've just had some government announcements this week that the housing market can start moving again. We can start carrying out inspections, carrying out surveys, opening residential sales offices. So that's going to be the real focus of the UK market over the next month or so, getting that all moving again. It's going to take people time to get comfort, though, that now is the right time to buy. So I think it will take some time for pricing in the residential market to come back. But I think longer term, looking out at the next 2 to 3 years for both residential and commercial, I think we can still be reasonably positive. But the short scale shock is huge.
And Chris, can I ask you about the commercial side of things, obviously? How much less will you be investing in office space now versus other things? Because there are alternatives, student housing, senior living, supermarkets, warehousing, distribution. Will the business increasingly focus on those things and not office space because of the trends we've been seeing in recent weeks?
I mean, I think it's a really interesting question, Anna, and I think we and a lot of our clients were thinking about that the whole time. And I think in terms of those longer term trends, it is still a little bit early to actually define them with any clarity. So we're focused much more on scenarios. We've been looking at in terms of 3 phases: respond, and then recover or re-entry into the office, and then reimagining the future. So what the respond phase has shown us and many other organizations, and I was just, when we were talking just prior to that with Matt and you, Anna, that some of the big financial organizations are thinking, what this has done, it's busted a few myths. It's busted myths that you can't work pretty effectively remotely at scale. You can carry out trading functions. You can carry out investment functions. But what I think the debate now is around what is the place of the office in the future. So although we can carry out a lot and be very efficient working remotely in terms of offices, there's a lot that you can't do remotely. And I think the office will need to, it's not reinvent itself, but I think COVID will be a catalyst for themes and trends that have begun to start. They will be speeded up significantly. So I think offices are going to have to become the creative hub, the ideas factory where innovation takes place, where you have collaboration, you have connection, where you have the physical and social interaction. But I'm also absolutely sure that we'll see more flexible and more agile working. And so the balance between remote working and working in offices, I think that's going to change. But actually, I still think offices got a big place in the future.
Is there a silver lining, though, with fewer offices being occupied by workers? I know you work with a charity called Crisis, which fights homelessness in the UK. And surely that's going to be a problem because of the financial disaster that we're looking at right now. Do you think there's a possibility that we can find better solutions to that after this crisis? Well,
I certainly hope so. Matt. I mean, I think I think one of the interesting things around the crisis is how companies and organizations have come together with communities and charities like Crisis. So certainly we're doing quite a lot of work now around the hotel sector, which is hugely impacted, and we're looking at engaging with Crisis, with both hotels and other occupiers to accelerate initiatives around homelessness. So I think the response of industry has been encouraging there. But I think one of the other big themes that we'd begun to see pre-crisis was the importance on health and well-being for organizations around their workforce, around their workplaces, and not just physical health, mental health. So I think all of that links back actually in a way to what we were talking about with Crisis. So I think the workplaces of the future, it's going to be really more important that actually you're really looking after your people, and that you're looking after the communities that you're actually involved in and serving with as well.